The Khyber crusade. Sokar the Sinister, aspiring champion of the Alpha Legion, made his way deep into the warp-haunted depths of the Space Hulk shard of Tartarus. He made his way alone, fresh from the victory on the Khyber moon over the Eldari. Reaching a secluded and abandoned compartment, he paused. Faintly, he could hear the whispers of warp entities echoing off the compartment walls. They promised power and death, glory and servitude. He reached the spot for his purpose. He poured powdered bone in a circle while murmuring incantations. He used the bone powder to draw runes and incantations on the squalid metal deck. Then finally, he drew a dagger, and slicing his ungauntleted hand, he dripped his lifeblood in the circle, energizing it, and lighting a beacon in the warp of offering. The shadows grew, and apparitions swirled around the circle as he resheathed his hand in his gauntlet. The entities crowed of their power and majesty boastfully. They shouted at the power and boons they would grant if he but chose them. The warp things knew a pact was in the offering. Their hunger and arvice for the mortal plane had them clamoring like the winds of a hurricane. Sokar listened to the voices silently while carefully assessing their power. His peril was dire as his plan moved apace. He must choose wisely for his purpose, reaping the maximum gain for the lowest cost. He dismissed in his mind the greatest of the entities. These would seek to enslave him, and with their power and will, they might even succeed. A scion of Alpharius must choose wisely. In his mind's eye, he latched onto one of the smaller, weaker entities. It darted in to offer promises and was swiftly driven away by its more powerful kin. It was weaker, and it knew it, and was desperate for the pact. It was perfect for Sokar's purpose. He beckoned and called the entity forth while driving the other warp entities back into the abyss by slamming the bloody dagger through a bone dust ruin on the deck. The entities howled and cursed him as they disappeared, leaving him alone with the entity he had chosen. "We must speak, you and I," Sokar said. "Show yourself." A serpentine demon appeared, wearing banded armor plate in the colors of Sokar's own armor. A massive executioner's glaive stood steady in the demon's claws. The blade of the glaive carried the stains of blood. Its maw revealed dagger teeth in its reptilian jaws, and most interesting to Sokar, it had no eyes. Where eyes might have been was instead covered in armor plates. But then, Sokar thought, what use does a demon have for eyes? Its warp sense would enable it to see far clearer than any eyes would. "You wish a pact," the thing hissed. "You have chosen well. I can—" "Silence," Sokar ordered, and the demon recoiled. Its anger apparent, but it could not strike Sokar as he stood in the circle. Furthermore, it craved a pact too desperately to jeopardize it. "Taste my words and know the truth of them," Sokar said. "I am Sokar of the Alpha Legion, veteran of the Long War. I seek to rise in power, both amongst the Legion and in the eyes of the Pantheon. I am in need of a wise and devious counselor with terrible power that I can weld to my own. I am no fool." As Sokar spoke, he watched the demon's forked serpent tongue darting out, tasting his words. Sokar would tell only the truth, but he would not tell all. "I have chosen you with care. You are ambitious as I am. You can see things I cannot, know lore I know not of. But you are weak compared to your kin. It rankles you, and like me, you seek to become stronger." "What is it that you propose, mortal?" the entity hissed. "In due course. First you will tell me of your origin, so that I might be affirmed in my choice," Sokar ordered. "Long ago, in the history of men, there was an ambitious prince who plotted with his father's counselors to kill him and usurp the throne. This was done. No sooner had the prince removed his father's corpse from the throne, he ordered the deaths of those same counselors on the pretext of betraying his father. But in truth, he craved all the power for his own. I am that moment of betrayal and death in the reveling of power and ambition, the demon said. We are well matched, Sokar said. The Pantheon guided me to you in a most worthy strand of fate. The demon grinned, a row of razor teeth, pleased at the mortal's words. My offer is this, a pact between us. I offer you drops of my blood to drink and take succor from. We will be bound then. You will be able to attend me as a shadow, an invisible counselor giving me a portion of your strength. I will keep you close, make sacrifice to you to sustain you. You will make me strong in this universe, and I will make you strong in the warp, by creating worship of you among mortal men. As I rise in power, so too will you, affording you greater strength that I might draw on, growing, ever more powerful and spreading your legend and worship. That is my offer, the pact that stands before you, Sokar finished. You are wise and fair, the demon hissed. Blessed by the Pantheon you are. I agree. Let us be bound, it hissed, leaning toward Sokar. Not so fast, Sokar ordered, before kneeling down and placing the blade on another bone dust ruin, activating it. To the demon's horror, the ruin was a ruin for truth, its power temporarily filling Sokar and giving him the ability to detect a lie. If I am to encourage your worship and empower you in the warp, I need your name, your true name. If you do not give it, there will be no compact between us. I will raise another of your kin up with this pact, and you will remain a weak and hunted shadow in the warp. Your name, Sokar demanded. Cartouche, the demon hissed. Later, Cartouche's essence draped itself in the aspiring champion's cloak. It was exhausted. After the pact, Sokar had made him manifest himself amongst a group of mortal insurgents that had joined the Khyber crusade. His appearance and Sokar's commands had gained Cartouche worshippers, and with that, the demon gained the faintest of strength. The mortal was as good as his word. Cartouche could even sense his satisfaction. After all, Cartouche had tasted of Sokar's blood. The mortal had tasted of duplicity and ambition. He was still a fool, though, a lesser being. He would honor his pact with Sokar and make himself indisposable, and Sokar would feed him with power. The demand and confiscation of his true name was still a festering store for the demon. Cartouche consoled himself with the dreams of a reckoning with Sokar. When he was powerful enough, made so by Sokar's own efforts, he would turn on him. At that point, Sokar would be so entirely dependent on Cartouche, he would be forced to swear a new pact, a pact that would enslave Sokar to Cartouche. Meanwhile, Sokar felt satisfaction at the pact. He had gained a new tool in his rise to power. The daemon would try to manipulate and enslave him. Such was the way of daemons. Of course, Sokar the Sinister had his own dark designs for Cartouche, plans the demon knew nothing about, and that would further empower Sokar's rise, but at a terrible cost to Cartouche. It was a dangerous gambit, but the path of glory was filled with them, and Sokar the Sinister would not veer off. He would rise.